Oh man, so my soap soap frosting is harder than my soap batter.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Royalty Soaps and our Scarborough Fair Inspired Soap Collection. This is chapter 2 of our Scarborough Fair story. I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you guys in the soap making portion of this video. Chapter 2. Flora and Fauna know that you, an inexperienced adventurer, will need help to defeat the dragon. Many have tried to slay this oppressive beast who harasses the village of Scarborough, but all have failed. The fairies direct you to a shop called Tinker's Treasure, owned by a Mr. Harbird who they know will assist you in this noble quest. The shrewd gnome is famous throughout the land for his amazing inventions, and you hope he can help with a special weapon to defeat the dragon. When you arrive at Tinker's Treasure, Mr. Harbird listens intently to your story and knows exactly what you need. He crafts a special sword with a hilt made of dragon scales and a blade of the finest steel. He also provides a special tool to gather the magical flower. Feeling prepared, you head deep into the forest towards the dragon's lair. You bravely fight the dragon with your new sword, and after a long battle, emerge victorious. Then you carefully gather the opal flower petals using the special tool Mr. Harbird gave you.
It has been forever since we've got to make a blue soap, so I am really excited about this. I'm going to pour my lye water solution into my oils, and by the way, if you want to make soap, I have a whole series teaching you how using pretty inexpensive products, most of which you can find at the grocery store for really cheap, and also some really inexpensive colorants and fragrances so that the first time you make soap, your soap is beautiful, but it also doesn't break the bank. Gonna go ahead and blend this up. All right, let's go ahead and measure out our lovely little accent colors. All right, so let's start pouring in our accent colors. We're gonna start with our gold here. This is 24 karat gold from TKB. We're gonna move on to our purple. This is Harold's Purple Crayon. This is sort of a bluish purple. It is from Mad Micah's. Then we have Queen Catherine, a lovely sort of scarlet red color. This is also from TKB. And then we have this absolutely stunning new color from Mad Micah's. It is called Spacewalk. I'll show you what it looks like in the container. It's a dark blue with gold flecks, and then to that I've added a little bit of ultramarine blue just to, well, make it even more blue. Stunning. Let's go ahead and blend those up. Oh my gosh, that blue, absolutely stunning, please. The fragrance we are using today is from Brambleberry. It is called Tobacco and Bay Leaf. This is a very unisex fragrance. It's very clean, and it reminds me of a Renaissance fair. The little bit of tobacco and sort of the herbaceous notes in here is really, really nice. Also discolors to a tan in cold process, which is one of the reasons why I picked the colors I did. Scrape all that goodness out, and then we are going to blend in just with our spatula. Keep everything nice and runny. Actually, golly, this is really runny. Never mind, we're switching to a stick blender. Okay, so everything is still really runny. I'm not gonna lie, I fully expected it to have set up a little bit more right now, which is honestly a testament to Brambleberry's fragrance oil. Guess I'll just take this time to tidy up my workplace. Okay, I think it's thick enough to pour at this point. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pour my purple into this corner right here, breaking the fall all the way in the corner. And I'm also gonna scrape out my containers completely. On this side, I'm gonna pour my red. Go ahead and scrape that out. And then in the very back, I'm going to pour the gold. Okay, time to pour. Admittedly, this may still be too runny, but we're gonna give it a shot. All right, after I've poured enough into these first 2 passes, I am gonna break the fall because it's getting too swirly. Well, that was really runny and a little messy. I'm just gonna go ahead and clean off the sides. It is still so runny, I'm gonna have to be careful with moving this around. And I'm definitely going to have to wait until I put the frosting on top because it's just too runny. That is so pretty. Oh, I can't wait to see the inside tomorrow. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and let this sit for a little while and then we'll come back and we'll put the soap frosting on. Okay, let's take a look at what we have going on with this frosting bag. So I put a little bit of titanium silver from TKB and a little bit of sunshine gold from 𝐷𝐬𝐻𝐷𝑒 down the sides of the bag so that this looks really starry and outer space-like. Oh man, so my soap my soap frosting is harder than my soap batter. Okay, so this literally hasn't happened to me in years. It's been absolutely years since I've made this mistake. I thought I had let it set up long enough. I jiggled it and I just judged wrong. I'm really hoping that this doesn't mess up the whole design because that would be tragic. But I literally can't wait any longer. I won't be able to pipe the top if I don't do it now. I'm having to pipe a little differently because of that mistake. I'm having to make it a lot flatter and pull it into the middle a lot more. Like kind of pipe on an angle a little bit so I don't push too much out. Oh, not on the table. Oh, what is going on? Okay, well, I'm super disappointed, but we carry on. It's obviously going to be better piping on the second row, and I didn't even bother to put extra sparkles in there because I'm just going to put them on the top. I actually have really big embeds to put on top of this, so I needed the piping to be perfect. That's all right. It's still salvageable. It's still going to look good. Come on, Katie. Keep telling yourself that. Now, in reality, I did actually want a more flat top to this soap because I do have some really big embeds to put on top, so maybe it's not a total loss because I actually ended up with a top pretty close to what I wanted. All right, let's go ahead and pour some gold and silver on top. Maybe it'll look better to drip it on the top anyway. Maybe we're making lemonade out of lemons. Maybe this is happy little accidents. Here comes the silver, which is absolutely swoon-worthy. Okay. All right, I'm starting to feel better. Okay, let's start with the gems. I figured that a fantasy tinker would have gems in his little toolkit, so I have some emeralds and some rubies here. And I should just say that the tinker here was very much inspired by all the steampunk costumes that I have seen at various Ren fairs. So that's sort of like a subcategory of Renaissance fair costumes. You'll see a lot of plague doctors and things of that nature. It's kind of a whole category of dress up. And whenever I was younger, I would say that was more popular than the Vikings. So the Vikings have become more popular. I'm sure it has nothing to do with all of the TV shows and stuff that have been made about them, or the subcategory on TikTok that is simply Viking. Another thing that has become increasingly more popular is anything mushroom related at Ren Fair, mushrooms and fairies, and anything Scotch, obviously, because hello, Outlander. Not to say that there aren't still tons of people that dress in the fantasy steampunk costumes, because there are, at least at Scarborough Fair, which is the one that I attend. All right, gonna get these last couple ones in here. Now these are huge embeds, like really big embeds. So could be that a couple of them get cut, but that's the price we pay. And speaking of steampunk, let's talk about the gears. So we have some copper gears. Some of them are starting to rust a little bit. Then we have some keys, some more gears. We have some really intricate plates and stuff here. These are super pretty. They are dusted in a little bit of silver. And then we have some more that are, again, dusted a little bit more silvery here. We have a lot more here. I mean, we just have so many gears. So I'm gonna do my best to use quite a few different types. Some of them I will place up like this. Some of them I will put flat, like this one. This one can definitely go flat. And I will simply be sticking them in where I can fit them. It doesn't have to be exactly the same on all the bars, just as long as everybody gets 2. The keys I am going to be placing like this, so it looks like, you know, you're winding up a bar. I love these little green keys. They're so cool. I have done this in the absolute worst way. Instead of just doing one soap at a time, I have like changed everything up. If some of these get cut, it's honestly not a big deal at all because gears cut in half, I think actually would look pretty cool on this design. Okay, admittedly, I have added a few little bonus trinkets on here. Just because I felt like it needed them. Not very many, just a few. This is Katie's special loaf, so I get to do what I want. All right, I think that's it. Okay, let's put a little bit of gold stardust on the top. I'm going to focus mainly on the top of the soap. The tinker can be paid in many different ways, sometimes with what he finds. Maybe he only wants to be paid in gold pieces because that is what is most valuable to him. Who knows? He's a very secretive fellow. He has no apprentice because he doesn't want anybody to know his trade secrets and undermine his business. Perfect. And this is what the Tinker's Treasure soap looks like up close. I am so excited. This is going to be an amazing cut. I can tell you that. So we will be back in 18 to 24 hours. We will cut up these bars and take a look at the inside after this quick commercial break.
Am I nervous about cutting into this? You bet I am. It looks a little funny on the top. It was really runny when I poured it. I'm just concerned. But of course, we're gonna cut into it anyway and find out if I have anything to be nervous about. Okay, just put it on its side. Some things are probably gonna get cut. Press down gently. Don't see any casualties yet. That's a good sign. Let's pull one out from the middle. This is what it looks like on the inside. Okay, maybe I didn't have as much to worry about as I thought I did. For as runny as it was, it is surprisingly really easy to see the inside. It's not overdone. I do think if I'm going to do a blue frosting, I may need to remove the blue on the inside. It's just kind of a lot of blue, but I'm obsessed with the top. I think the top is perfect. I won't change anything as far as that is concerned. So what do y'all think? Keep the blue on the top and the inside? Should I change it up? Maybe add some white? I want to hear y'all's design opinions down in the comments below. That's our question of the day today. Mr. Harbord is a fancy little dude, isn't he? He really has all the stuff together and he can make so many magical inventions. I'm obsessed with this soap. It smells fantastic. Thank you, Brambleberry, for the marvelous fragrance. You guys be sure to do something fun for yourself today, like collecting a few little tiny things and putting them on display, or maybe shopping at your favorite Etsy shop. I hope you all have an absolutely magical day, and I will see you in the next chapter next week. And until then, bye for now. Meow.